What's up, Goober? There are generally two types of flashes: pop flashes and reactable flashes. Pop flashes aren't visible to your opponent up until the moment that they do pop, which ensures that your opponent is going to be blind. Reactable flashes may be visible to your opponent all the way up until the moment that they do pop. Where a lot of people go wrong with their understanding of flashbangs is that they heavily underestimate how strong and how easy to throw reactable flashes are, and thus they don't use them nearly as much as they should. With this in mind, I am going to simplify the hell out of flashbang usage for you in this video, allowing you to use effective flashes in any situation. But before I do so, thank you to SkinsMonkey for sponsoring this video. SkinsMonkey is a trusted automated CS2 trading site. It's super easy to use. All you have to do is pick something in your inventory, check how much it's worth, and then go get something new from the monkey. What's also super nice is the filters you can use to narrow down your searches. You can either use your skins to trade for new ones or deposit money with their 30% bonus offer. This becomes 35% when you use my code Wilson. Please use it. Using my code, you can also get up to $5 for free. Use my code Wilson, link is in the description. Let me start by illustrating the reactable flash predicament to you. Let's pretend like we're in a game against each other and we're in this situation. You have cover and I, your opponent, does not. From behind your cover, you throw a very reactable flash that you can swing with without it blinding you. In this situation, we both have essentially two options. You can swing right before / right as the flash pops, or you can swing right after the flash pops. My first option is to turn the flash, flicking my mouse away from it as it pops and then flicking it back onto the angle after it pops. My second option is to eat the flash. Very scrummy. I'm gonna hold the angle, hope that you swing before or right as the flash pops, and I'll spray you down while I'm blind using that temporary visibility that I got of you before the flash popped. Thanks to this little table over here, you can see that 2 out of the 4 outcomes strictly favors you in this gunfight. If I turn the flash and you swing right as the flash pops, you're gonna shoot me in the back and you're gonna win the gunfight. If I don't turn the flash and you swing after the flash pops, I'm going to be blind and you're most likely also going to win the gunfight. Our third outcome, if I turn the flash and you swing right after the flash pops, you are still favored to win this fight, but less so than the other 2 outcomes. I may not be blinded by the flash, but I do have to swing my crosshair far away from the angle and then swing it back all the way onto the angle when you can just have crisp, nice pre-aim. Now, the one option that I would argue isn't favored for you and might not even be favored for me, it's more 50-50, is if you swing before the flash pops and I don't turn the flash. I just eat the flash, I hold the angle. The reason it's 50-50 is because if I miss my first few bullets and then I get blinded by the flash, it's going to be really hard for me to adjust my crosshair onto you while being full blinded. But I also have this kind of advantage of knowing the timing of your swing. Long story short, 3 out of 4 outcomes of throwing a reactable flash against somebody without cover gives you a major advantage in the fight. If you didn't throw that flash, maybe it'd be more of a 50-50 fight for you. Before I get into the nitty-gritty of how to throw a different array of good self flashes, I want to talk to you about this core concept that is so important when considering how to throw reactable flashes. Thank you, Mr. Green Screen Wilson, for that transition. A good reactable flash has to be wide from your opponent's perspective. Now here's what I mean. If you're on T side and you know that a player is sitting here on CT holding this angle and you want to blind them or get them off this angle, you need to throw a flash that is wide on their perspective rather than directly on the angle. I screwed that one up a little higher. Rather than directly on the angle. So you see this flash that is right on this angle. If I rethrow that, they can just go there and then swing right back into the angle. It's not disruptive at all. But a flash that pops wide in their perspective like this flash, a flash that pops out here, wide away from the angle, this forces them to turn so far and to get back into cover, and it disrupts them much more than a flash that is right on the angle does. So pop flashes are really good for throwing right on an angle. That's why their lineups, they need to be precise. They can't be reactable if they're gonna pop right on the angle. But when you're throwing reactable flashes, get them out wide, because these will be way more disruptive to a CT who has to, they see this, oh god, they have to turn, and then they have to go all the way back and swing. And by that point, you could be swung out and you're taking space. That makes this follow-up fight for the CT way more uncomfortable. Now let's talk about the easy and simple ways you can throw reactable flashes. I made this video, this concept before, and I called this version of the flash the bank and swing, and I'm gonna stick to that. It's corny, but I like it. We'll call it the bank and swing. All it is you have a wall in front of you, and then you have exposure. You're just gonna bank a flash on the wall, and then swing with that. Stupid simple. This is applicable to every map almost everywhere, right? If I'm retaking A and I'm worried about somebody sitting on here holding me, just banking a flash here, forcing them to turn, and then swinging with it can be really freaking strong. Banking a flash, somebody's pushing me into donut, banking a flash here, and then swinging with it can be really strong, right? Get that flash off of wall and then behind you, and then swing in front of it as it pops. A really common play you'll see on T-side Ancient is a smoke into red. This is good against really aggressive CTs, and then Ts will come out and somebody will just bank a flash like this and then swing with that and kill the CTs as they're in transition right here. Stupid simple. Use it. It's just easy. If you're not using these, you need to be. Let's talk about cover flashes. Whenever you have a piece of cover in front of you, it provides a really easy way to throw good flashes for yourself. All you're gonna do is just right click and shift walk a flash in front of it and then swing with it. This is especially strong if you have a piece of cover that you can swing from either side with. It makes it really tricky for these Ts to know what to do. They see that flash coming, they have to turn, and then as they turn back, they have to flick to either side. It's a really tricky situation. Use cover to throw flashes in front of you, and this can be used in so many cases. Top mid boxes, if somebody's pushing you up mid and you want to flash them and swing off of it, just throwing a flash above the boxes and swinging with it, that can be a really easy way to get a kill. If you're stuck on bench on B, you don't even have to shift walk this one. You can just right click it and then swing with this, right? If they're pushing cat or they're swinging you sight from here, think about how you can use the cover in front of you to make it so that that flash won't blind you, but anybody who's looking in your general direction is just going to eat the flash if they don't turn away from it. Middle click flashes, ones where you hold down left and right click together, are so strong, and I don't know why people don't use these enough because they're just amazing. I'm gonna tell you why. Middle click flashes are your best tool for both throwing pop flashes for yourself and for throwing the easiest baked self flash ever for yourself. Left click flashes are mostly used to throw pop flashes for other people or reactable flashes for yourself, right? I can flash like that. It's a reactable flash. It'll force somebody off of the angle on arch. But what if I don't want to force them off the angle? What if I want to try to throw a pop flash for myself that will blind them and allow me to try to get this kill? Well, that's where a left and right click flash can come in. If I line up on this left wall over here and I throw a left and right click flash nice and high and let it pop right on the angle, that can give me a good chance at actually getting this kill, because if we look at this flash from their perspective, it's more of a pop flash. Now, this is somewhat of a skill. You saw that one. It had a second to it that they could have reacted to, but the better you get at it, the more you can throw these as pop flashes for yourself. You can't do this with left click flashes because they just go too high. They go too far. The CT's gonna see that, no shit, I'm gonna turn that and not get blinded by it. Left and right click flashes, because they're that happy medium between the distance of right click and the distance of left click flashes, they allow you to use the cover that you're hiding behind and to throw these flashes as pop flashes. To illustrate to you why left and right click, middle click flashes are so strong for self flashes, let's imagine that we're a CT here in top mid. If I want to throw a flash for myself to peek down mid and I want to use a left click flash, all I can do are reactable flashes, right? The only way I could throw a pop flash mid is from way back here, just because of the distance that a left click flash goes. There's no way I can throw it and then swing off of it myself. That's where left and right click flashes come in. It's because they don't fly nearly as far. You can throw them and then swing off of them yourself. So I can throw a flash like that, come up, turn, and then swing with it. And yes, it might not be a perfect pop flash, but it's going to be better than forcing my teammates to try to throw a good flash for me and expect them to do so. I mean, do you trust your teammates to throw good pop flashes for you? Most of the time not. This is a great way to be self-reliant and be able to throw pop flashes for yourself. Don't rely on your teammates to do it. Use left and right click flashes for yourself. They're amazing. So left and right click flashes aren't only good for throwing pop flashes for yourself, but they're also excellent for throwing just the easiest reactable flash that can be really effective for yourself. Here's what I mean. If I am a T and I'm planting default here, let's say I'm in a 1v1, a CT, I know that they are moto. I know that they might be pushing me off the bomb plant. Let's say I stick the plant, I get up, and I immediately pull a flash out and left and right click a flash behind me. Just up and behind me, and then I swing off of that popping. Then we put the CT into that reactable flash predicament where this flash comes out, I have to turn it or I have to eat it, right? We put them in that uncomfortable situation and there's no lineup. It's just super dumb and simple. That's how you want to use your flashes, just dumb and simple and efficient. I could do it in pit, right? I could just flash above myself there. If I'm moto and I want to swing out, I could just do it here. Oh my God, it's so easy. It's so simple. Just use them. Let's talk about rush flashes, or flashes that you want to use when you're taking space. This is typically a running right-click flash. This is the best one to use when you're booking it, you're taking space. So for example, we have house smoked, the CTs smoked us mid. I want to be aggressive. I want to go swing somebody doors. I can do this. If I want to be quiet, I can shift walk, aim high, send that flash, and swing with it. The important thing here is that when you throw these types of flashes, you want the flash to pop essentially right where you're planning on taking the fight. And that's because the CT is going to be holding that. So if they're staring at where you want to take the fight, the most logical place that you guys are going to fight each other, then they are bound to eat the flash that you throw. The thing to note about these right click flashes is the lower you throw them, the more reactable they are, because the more they're going to bounce. So if you run and aim really high and then throw them, it's going to bounce and then very quickly pop right after it bounces, which is almost just unreactable if you get a good angle on it. One mistake I see a ton is that people run and then jump throw right click these flashes, and that actually goes further than people think. This flash is so far. This is super reactable, right? And if they're playing an angle like this, it might not even blind them. It has no chance to blind them if they're playing cover. Please stop jump right clicking flashes like this unless there's a really good reason for it. 3 quick tips for when you're flashing for teammates. Number 1, idiot-proof your flashes. This could be knowing just generally good places to throw your flash that won't blind your teammates. For example, if you're rushing out A on Ancient and you throw a flash like this in front of Big Box, it won't blind your teammate as they swing out, but it will blind any CT here holding Donut. You could alternatively just flash behind them, right? The easiest flashes to throw for your teammates are just high and behind them. Keep it simple. Don't make them turn as they're engaging in fights because you're throwing a flash in front of them and in front of the enemy. That will make them mad. Just throw flashes behind them. Throw flashes that like you don't even have to tell them about. They're that safe. Number 2, when you're executing a site or you're taking a space and you're the one flashing, you need to be the communicator. You need to make sure that your team is, 1, in a position to use your flash, right? If I'm flashing for my teammates to go up B, here's a classic flash, it pops behind the pillar, then I need to make sure that my teammates are scaled up ramp and they're actually ready to pop off of it. If I throw this flash as they're just spread out here outside of B, useless. So number 1, make sure that they're in the position to use it. And then number 2, dictate the timing. Tell them exactly when you're going to throw it. This is a good way to make your team actually go take space. Hey, I'm flashing for you. Ready, ready, ready. I'm flashing. 3, 2, 1, bang. Go, 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 go. Right? You have to be that guy, annoyingly communicative when you're throwing flashes for your teammates to take space. Tip number 3, when you're in a position where you can easily throw a really good flash for your teammate, tell them that you can and ask them to call for it. For example, if I'm playing B and I have a teammate who's pushing up into Jag, I can throw a really stellar flash for him by just doing this, right? Super easy. All we need is just the slightest bit of communication to make this happen and to allow them to swing cave and kill a bunch of blind T's down here. What I can do is I can approach along, I can say, hey, I can flash shelf for you. Tell me if you want it. Call for it. And then if they call for it, okay, easy. I just throw it, bang, and then that's a really easy way to just get teamwork going, because they probably wouldn't have thought about it or wouldn't have asked for it if you didn't tell them that you can do that for them. The last thing, and maybe the most important thing I have to tell you about flashes in Counter-Strike 2 is that you need to stop worrying and stressing yourself out about needing to know flashbang lineups. Look, flashbang lineups are really nice. They can be really good for throwing pop flashes for your teammates. But when you're on a team of random teammates who aren't speaking to you or are speaking to you in a different language and you can't coordinate, what's the point of learning those? Most of the flashes that are going to have the most impact for you are going to either be self flashes or concepts of flashes. What I mean by concepts are flashes that aren't necessarily a lineup. They're sort of a lineup, but they're more so just you throw the flash like this and it's going to do something good. They're just popularized because they're just a solid flash overall. For example, the VP flash on Mirage. You don't have to aim at anything specific. You just run and you jump throw. You just aim around there and just in that general area. This flash comes up here and it pops here and it blinds anybody in window or bottom con. That's not a lineup. I'm not sitting somewhere and pixel perfect throwing it in this certain area like you would with smokes. It's just a concept. Similar to this one, top mid. You throw a flash over the right side of boxes and you swing with that. That's going to blind anybody pushing up mid and it's not going to blind you and you can swing with it. Another concept, right? Learn these types of flashes, you know, watch people play. The best thing you can do to get better at using flashes is two things. Number one, use them in games. Buy flashes in games and use them. You're gonna screw them up. You're gonna throw shitty flashes. That's okay. You have to learn everybody's gonna throw shitty flashes. Number two, jump into a practice map like this and just mess around. Just get silly. Just figure out how to use flashes efficiently, right? Oh, if I'm here trying to cross cat and I know somebody's ticket, maybe if I throw a flash like that, that could help me swing and that could blind somebody ticket. You get used to the trajectories, you learn, you get silly, you get creative. That's how you're gonna start throwing good flashes for yourself. Thank you, Goober, for watching my video, and thank you to my channel members. They help support me and allow me to be a goober on the internet. I always appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thanks for being members. And thank you for watching this video. Please consider liking, subscribing, or even just going and watching one of my other videos next. I hope you have a wonderful day and good luck and have fun in all of your future games.